Welcome to Central Bark, a podcast from Guide Dogs for the Blind. I'm Teresa Stern, and I'm your host. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Central Bark. We have such the sweetest, most special episode for you today. It's just near and dear to my heart because today we are talking to a volunteer puppy raiser. Yay! Puppy raisers are amazing. And at Guide Dogs for the Blind, we couldn't do anything that we do without them. And today I am lucky enough to be joined by Kristine Reynolds, who has raised not one, not two, but three little creatures for our program. And she's going to tell us a little bit about what it's like to raise a puppy for Guide Dogs for the Blind, all the ups and downs, kind of address that difficult question about what do you do when you have to say goodbye and they go into training. And also just, what being part of this community has really meant to her life. So, if you're interested in potentially maybe one day being a puppy raiser or just interested in the amazing people that do this job, and maybe you're thinking, well, I don't know if this could fit into my life. Well, we're going to let you know that yes, it probably can. And Kristine's going to tell us all about it. So, welcome, Kristine.
Hi, everyone. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for having me, Teresa.
Absolutely. So, Kristine, tell me a little bit about your role as a puppy raiser and about the three amazing furry creatures that you raised for the program.
Being a puppy raiser is really heartwarming and fulfilling to me. Being on the third puppy already, I feel like I've gone through the ups and downs of just basically raising almost like a kid.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I've been through all the stages of raising my puppies. It's really fulfilling because I get this little furry little companion to bring with me everywhere, teach them
Yes.
all the manners and socialize them and get them out and about. And I have a little buddy with me all the time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and where I work, it's been really great. I don't even really have to say much. My coworkers actually also educate other people that are around us about how to act and service animal etiquette too, because I don't really have to say anything anymore. Because they're like, "Oh, please don't talk to George. He's working right now. When
I
he has
love
his
that.
vest on, just ignore him. He's working." And they're like, "He's sleeping." Like, yes, but that's
Yeah.
what he's supposed to do.
Tell everybody what your job is because it is a little people kind of think, I need to be home all day to raise a puppy. So tell everyone a little bit about your work, your career.
Oh my goodness. So I do not have the typical 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. kind of job. I don't work at an office per se. I'm actually working at a hotel, a casino here in Las Vegas. Previously with my second puppy, I worked at a hotel and casino. I was actually a beverage manager prior when I had hibiscus. And
Okay.
now I work at the front desk at a hotel here. Anybody can do it. As long as you don't like work, I think, in a wig factory, I think, is one of the random things that you can't have a dog in,
Okay.
and I think a food packaging place, like maybe not making canned tuna, you could probably be a puppy raiser. So yeah, George comes with me. He's in a casino environment, a hotel environment,
Mhm.
and then we have a call center too, which is his favorite because then he gets to sleep under the desk and just has his little, bed that's arranged there. But yeah, he's at the front desk with me and guests are like, "Oh, you have a puppy back there." I'm like, "Oh, yes, he's, my guide dog for the blind, puppy in training." And they're like, "What?" So yeah, it's really neat to actually talk with the community too while I'm checking them in. It kind of gives
Right.
them something
That's so cool.
to
That is
look at. But yeah.
so tell me,
Yeah.
what was it for you? How did you decide you wanted to become a puppy raiser?
When I was working at my previous job, one of my coworkers in a different department, I actually had to pull a fire alarm and everybody evacuated out of the building. And I already knew that there was a
Mm.
service animal on property. I
Mhm.
didn't realize that it was one of the guide dogs puppies in training. She was one of the coworkers in a different department. And when we evacuated, she was carrying this little fur baby around
Oh.
because he was not street legal yet. I was like, what the heck? Who is that? And I was like, oh, that's Teresa. That's the person that has the puppy in training. So
Oh.
I ended up reaching out to her on Teams and I said, how do you get to do this? How did
Mhm.
this all work?
Mhm.
And how can I get into it?"
Yeah.
So she ended up giving me the information that she's, part of the Las Vegas puppy raisers for Guide Dogs for the Blind. And I ended up going to a few meetings and
Mhm.
then did a home inspection to make
Mhm.
sure like the house is good for a puppy and everything,
Yes.
and learned and went through the guidebook and everything like that that
Mhm.
Guide Dogs for the Blind provides for puppy
Mhm.
raisers, and
Mhm.
ended up getting my own puppy of my own, and that was Orleans, my very first one.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
so it's great. It's really accessible. Guide Dogs for the Blind makes puppy raising accessible. They start you off with all the tools you need. They give you a form if you don't have anything for a puppy.
Mhm.
They give you a little checklist like, "Do you need this? Do you need, a bowl? Do you
Right,
need
right, right.
toys?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's very, very accessible for anybody. So, yeah. But that's how I got into it. I just saw
That's
that.
so cool. So, was your first puppy, and can you tell us a little bit about her? I'm assuming
So
her. Maybe it's a boy?
yes, so Arlene's was a girl. Yes,
Okay.
she was a yellow lab, a little chaotic little stinker sometimes, but, I love
Uh-huh.
her. She really put me through the ringer.
Yeah.
She ended up getting career changed.
Can you tell everybody what career changed
So
means? 'Cause there'll be people that
career
aren't necessarily guide dog people. Yeah.
Yes, so career change, that's the nice way of saying that they didn't make it towards formal training, or they didn't want to be a guide dog or
Yeah.
work as a service animal. They
Okay.
decided themselves that they wanted to either be a pet,
Cut.
and that's what she wanted to be. She wanted to
Yes.
be a pet. They offered me if I wanted to adopt her, but I wasn't
Mhm.
able to. So one of my really good friends decided to, adopt her. Actually, her son adopted her. And so she lives here in Vegas. I see
Oh,
little pictures
good.
of her every once in a while on
Oh, that's
social media and
awesome.
things like that. So yeah.
So
So that was my first one.
you had Orleans, and then I know you had hibiscus,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
So tell us a
Hibiscus.
little bit about hibiscus.
Hibiscus is my little sassy girl. She was one of the best. Don't tell George. I'm not saying George is not good, but she was the most confident, willing to learn
Mhm.
puppy that I had, and she went everywhere with me, like,
Mhm.
everywhere. Even earlier when she was a younger puppy, some of the things that I'm waiting to do with George, she was confident enough to do. Like,
Right.
we started doing public transportation, like, some of the shorter routes and just, like,
Mhm.
little shuttle buses and things like
Right.
that, and we do have Zoox robo taxis here in Vegas. I
Oh, do
don't know
you?
if you've
Yeah.
heard of those
Is that
little
like Waymo kind of?
driverless.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're
Yeah.
driverless, no, not even a pedal or anything, like, it's just like this little, it looks like a toaster oven on wheels,
Oh.
and it sits 4 people, but we
Okay.
started doing that, and then I've taken her out of town to Southern California, to San Diego.
Mhm.
We've taken, public transportation on that,
Mhm.
so she really got accustomed to the bright lights of Vegas and all the sounds and everything like that, and then
Yeah.
being out and about, settling in public places like restaurants, being in the food and beverage and hospitality industry. A lot of my friends own bars here in
Mhm.
Vegas and also throughout California, and we've gone to their places, and she just settles down, and just she was just the greatest little learner, and she's right now on campus. She was going to be a breeder, but she ended up getting pulled from that, and then she's going to be going to formal guide work training. I'm so excited for her. So,
Wow! I'm
yes.
so excited for
So
you.
she's just waiting to get into a string, which means like a little group of her little classmates, her other
Yes.
puppy classmates. That's what they call a string,
Okay.
is a group of the puppies that are with their instructor to
Okay.
learn all that and go through the 8 phases. But I'm waiting for her pup date and see
How she's
what she's gonna do.
doing.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for her.
I'm glad you brought that up because I think one of the coolest things about the Guide Dogs for the Blind puppy raising program is they really do seem to keep you sort of in the loop as to how the dog is doing in training. So when you send them over to guide dog college, you're sort of getting some feedback. Isn't that right?
Yes, we get pup dates.
I love
Like,
that pup
everybody's
dates.
on bated breath when it comes to Thursday.
Okay.
So that's when there's a pup date. They usually get like a monthly one.
Mhm.
So June's pup date, I'm waiting for the July pup date, but
Okay.
June's pup date for Hibiscus was really great. She was doing really great in the community runs, and there's a little thing that said that she was confident in a harness, so I think they're putting a
Good.
harness on her just
They're
to kinda get her
starting her
used to that. So I'm
out.
just like,
Yeah.
"Oh my gosh." So, yes.
She's all grown up.
Yes, she's my little grown-up girl in college, so
Oh my gosh. So she's away at college and you didn't
Mhm.
want to have an empty nest, I guess.
No.
So tell us a little bit about George.
So George is a yellow lab golden cross.
Oh, cute.
He's mostly looks like he's a golden though.
Oh, is he fluffy? He's a
He's a
fluffy.
fluffy boy, yes, and he's got
Aw.
cankles. We all make fun of him because he's got these big, huge paws.
Oh, he's
From when
gonna be a big boy. Yeah.
I received him, we got him he was born in February, but we got him
Okay.
in June or May, I'm sorry, May.
Okay.
And one
Mhm.
of my cowork was my former coworker, Teresa, that got
Mhm.
me into the puppy raiser club.
Yes.
She started him for me because I couldn't bring him quite when he was not street legal yet to work.
Right, right. Talk a
So
little bit about I think we've used that term a couple times, street legal. What's that
so
mean for a puppy?
yes, for a puppy, being street legal means you have all your vaccinations and you're, ready to touch the ground, basically, all
Gotcha.
4 on the floor,
Yep.
basically. Otherwise, when we receive a puppy, if it's 8 weeks and up until about when they finalize their final vaccinations,
Mhm.
they're
Mhm.
either in the stroller or they're being carried around or like
Gotcha.
in a little sling. Their immune system isn't quite developed and they need to get all their vaccinations first. So once he was
Gotcha.
street legal, he started
Yep.
coming to work with me. So,
Nice.
thanks to Teresa, she
Yes.
got him started.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but that's my George boy, and he's always in the fields, so he's my little shadow,
I
and he's
bet.
always willing to learn, which
Oh,
is
I
great,
love that. Oh
and
my gosh.
thankfully, he likes the kibble, so he likes to learn lots as long as you feed him little pieces of kibble.
There you
But,
go.
yeah, but right now, he's learning to wait.
Mhm.
So he's really good at waiting when he's going to be fed. So he goes and sits on a special mat that's right by his bowl. And I can
Aw.
walk away from the bowl with food in it, and he'll just look at me and wait
Oh,
for
good
me to say,
boy.
okay. The only thing that he is not liking is his shoes
Oh.
because it's 100 plus degrees out
Oh.
here in Vegas. So he has to wear
Right?
shoes, but he's fine. But at first he's just like, do I really have to wear these?
With all
And
those
he just,
booties, I
with,
feel silly.
yeah. But then he's like, all right, I'll wear it, mom. It's
Oh
fine.
my gosh. Well, it
So
sounds
yeah.
like, and I know this to be true that when you're puppy raising, there are lots of little stages that you go through with your puppy to determine, when it's time for them to learn a certain thing or another thing. How do you figure that out? How does this whole puppy raising thing work? And how does Guide Dogs for the Blind support puppy raisers? It isn't like you just pick up the puppy and good luck, we'll see you in a year. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, thankfully, we
Yeah,
don't get that.
yeah.
We get a lot of support not only from Guide Dogs for the Blind, but from the Las Vegas Puppy Club, like the Puppy Raisers Club.
Yes.
It's like it really takes a village. Guide Dogs for the Blind as well as the club. I can always reference to our guidebook. There's a guidebook that we have online that gives us all the different stages and what to expect and how to teach them the proper manners and things like that and
Right.
socialization skills. And
Yep.
then the club here locally, I have 2 leaders,
Mhm,
co-leaders, and
mhm.
I can just text them and ask them. I can also ask the group because some of the puppy raisers in our club have raised 9, 10 plus puppies. So they have a lot of
Yes.
experience. And then
Yes.
we also have a guide dog team that is also a puppy raiser. They have a guide dogs for the blind
Oh,
puppy that
that's
they
so
have. Yes.
awesome.
So it's
Yeah.
really great to get her perspective as well.
You kinda see
So
what the finished product is supposed to do and look
yes.
like, and
And she
yeah.
also tells us the why and what goes
Yeah.
on during like their training when they're paired up with a puppy. So it was very eye opening because sometimes we only see like the side of the pup dates and what's going
Right.
on or what we can read from like
Right.
what the training entails. But
Right.
she has told us like, oh, this is why we do this and this is and like
Yeah.
in actuality this is how this goes. I'm like, oh, okay,
Right,
that's
right.
really
Because like,
it's really
as a
great
blind
to have her
person, I need the
perspective.
dog to be able to do this or that or the other thing so I know what they're doing, and
Mhm.
yeah, that totally makes sense. I love that you have an actual guide dog user in your club. That is fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow, so it sounds like you get a lot of support then from your club and from the school. But I think what a lot of people, when I talk to people about how great puppy raising is and how amazing puppy raisers are and how, I've had 5 guide dogs, and I couldn't have had any of them without the amazing puppy raisers that were, involved in their upbringing. But I think a lot of people kind of shy away from it. It's gotta be so hard once you've put a year in with this dog. You love this dog. And then it's time for the dog to go back to school and learn formal guide work. Can you tell us a little bit about how that was maybe for you with hibiscus? Because that's probably your most recent one you had to say goodbye to.
Oh, yes. I'm not gonna say that it's not hard to say goodbye because
Yeah.
you really do get attached. At least I know I'm only speaking for myself, but I've also
Mhm.
seen my fellow puppy raisers have to bring their puppies back to
Mhm.
campus for recall as well. So
Right.
it is hard to say goodbye. I'm not gonna even gonna deny that I didn't have like big tears of like
Yes.
sadness, but also excitement when I had to bring Hibiscus back to
Mhm.
campus for her recall. That's one of the questions that I get when people are asking me, why do I want to be a puppy raiser when I have to give them back?
Right.
But at the end of the day, yes, I get this little companion and I get to teach them all the manners and
Mhm.
socialize them,
Mhm.
but also they have a higher purpose. They're giving somebody else independence that people take for granted.
Mhm.
So, regardless if it's a guide dogs for the blind puppy or whatever kind of service animal training that they're going to be tasked with, it's giving somebody independence that other people they can take for granted.
Take for
So,
granted. Yeah.
they have a higher purpose, and I already know going into that, that's what their purpose is for,
Right.
potentially.
Right.
So,
Right. Well, as a person who's benefited from puppy raisers, just for all of us who are blind and use a guide dog, thank you for that, and thank you
mm,
for really seeing the big picture. But tell me a little bit, because I do think, one of the to say goodbye to your puppy, but at least for me anyway, with my puppy raisers, I've been able to form like amazing friendships and relationships with them. So I always say, you had to give away a puppy, but she got a blind person, their guide dog back or whatever, back in the mix. But also tell me a little bit about the guide dogs for the blind community and what that has meant for you in your life.
Oh my gosh, I've made so many friends, not
Yeah.
only here in Vegas, but
Mhm.
also at the other clubs. I talk to some of the other puppy raisers regularly. I talk to a couple of the guide dog teams that have guide dogs for the blind guide dogs. And it's such a nice community. They're all welcoming. From my very first meeting in Las Vegas Puppy Raisers Club, I felt
Mhm.
so welcome. It was great. It's great being a part of this community, and like I said before, it does take a village and everybody's perspective. If you need any help, you could always reach out. Another guide dog a puppy raiser from another club was
Mhm.
visiting Vegas,
Mm.
and their puppy all of a sudden went into heat, and
Oh,
she didn't have her little
kit.
panties that they
Yeah.
used, a little kit,
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
she reached out to us through social media, and I was running the social media messaging and everything,
Mm.
so I ended up meeting up with her and letting her borrow stuff for her puppy while she
Yeah,
was here, and then
yeah.
she sent it back to me. It was really neat, so it
That's so
really is a
cool.
sense of community.
Yeah, no, it's this
We
whole
help
it
each other
is.
out.
It's like this network,
Mhm.
people all over because we have puppy raisers, what, in, like, I think it's the 10 Western states. If I had to name them all, I would probably get messed up and mixed up, but I've done that before too. I've been on the road for guide dogs doing conferences and things like that, and, had a dog not feeling well, I call local puppy raisers. They know where to, the best local vet and that kind of thing. So yeah, I would agree. It's an incredible community. So what would you say to someone who is kind of on the fence about raising a puppy? Like so what would you say to them, and how would you tell them the best way to sort of think about getting involved?
Well, first I would ask, like, "What's stopping you? What's
Yeah.
your hang up?"
Yeah.
Because it really is accessible to
Mhm.
all walks of life,
Mhm.
basically. You get all the tools that you need from Guide Dogs for the Blind. The only thing that you really have to provide is the food, and if there's for some reason
Mhm.
that you're not able to maybe afford the food, you
Mhm.
do get help. You can still get
Nice.
help. Vet bills are taken care of
Mhm.
for the puppies while you
Mhm.
have them. I actually thankfully
That's
have a
huge.
vet here in town that just bills them directly. I don't even have to worry about it. There shouldn't be anything stopping you. If you have an open heart and time on your hands
Mhm.
and you even want just a companion to hang out with you and,
Yeah.
like, to teach this little bundle of fur and
Mhm.
watch them grow into this puppy dog, this older dog, you should be able to do it, and
Yeah.
there shouldn't be anything stopping you. It should be very accessible.
That's
So, yeah.
great. That's great. If somebody did say, "Okay, all right, Christine, you've convinced me. I want a fluffy little puppy to raise and to love," what would they do to find out more information and to get hooked up with a club?
So to get more information, you just
Mhm.
go to
Mhm.
guidedogs.com/puppy,
Okay.
and that will give you all the information. There's actually a link in there to put in your information that you are interested in becoming a puppy raiser, and the closest club leader will contact you. And if there isn't the closest local club, someone will still contact you, give you information, and kind of get the ball rolling if you are interested in becoming a puppy raiser. It's
That's
really
great.
that easy.
I love it. I love it. And Christine, thank you. Thank you so much for talking to us today, but also for the amazing, impactful work that you're doing, raising the puppies, having the puppies out in the public. That really is just great education for people about service animals and just for all that you do for those of us who really depend on these amazing creatures for our independence. Thank you for everything you do.
Oh, well, thank you, Teresa, for having me. It's so wonderful to be here and to talk with you. And I am hoping that we get more puppy raisers because we
Yeah,
do need them.
we do. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to Central Bark, a podcast from Guide Dogs for the Blind. If you enjoyed today's broadcast, please hop on over to Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star review. Your reviews help more people find our podcast and learn about GDB's life-changing mission. We also love it when you leave us notes. As always, if you have an idea for an episode or a question you'd like us to answer on our podcast, please send us an email at podcast@guidedogs.com. We love hearing from you. So head over to guidedogs.com/podcasts, where you can find recordings of previous episodes along with show notes and transcripts.
This podcast was edited by Resonate Recordings.